So head out. Wait, can't allow you to pass. Now you see what gods are really made of. Alright, so I guess this is just an introduction to lives linked to one another, and the world continues. This is just an introduction to Sarah's Varnani form. I won't run anymore. I will not run any more Surf. I am terrible at speaking. But finally we get these back. We get Bafula and Agilao. And she has the same stats as Surf did when he left, so she gets a lot of magic power. Seriously, a lot of magic power. Maybe? No. Okay. Oh, and I never set spells for Gale and CLO. There's a victory animation. Yeah, she doesn't really say much. You know, at the end of the battle, she doesn't really say much, so it's a little odd, but okay. But you learn Recalm. You don't need Devour either. You know, it's just not necessary at this point, I'd say. Yeah, there goes there. Mazan instead of Mazan, and Force Drain. Not at the moment. No. I don't think we can go back here, because Gal will just say no. I understand that you want to help roll, but for now, we must keep moving. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we can't go back into that room, whatever was in there. Or the rest of the power plant for that matter. So this is a tragic scene here. Well, Angela runs back to help Roland. So I guess Gale's initiated the self-destruct sequence. Roland looks like he's dead, but he's not. Trust me, he's alive.
Like electricity, Indrajit?
Yeah, so this is
I have
Indrajit.
something for you. How about you suck down the power of this whole damn city?
So yeah, Roland's still alive. This is a good scene though. So he uses the last of his strength to pull the lever. And the cat's bells, and the power plant explodes, taking along with it Meganata, Roland, and Argila. That's 2 more party members that have died. Leaving us... well, really. And then there were 3. So, we're in Saddle Park, I guess. Remember what you see here. That fire is the light of is the light of life, which we must carry on. Where's Cielo? Come on. Someone has put an end to this here. Fred, what do you have to say? Roland, Argila. So, okay, so now that Surf, Argila, and Roland have died, I want to talk about how, like, you know, this part of the game that I really don't like is that I like the story. The story's nice. The story's a good story, but I hate how much precedence it takes over the gameplay. You know, there's no, and I was talking about earlier, and I'll elaborate on what I mean on that, but I was talking about earlier, you know, when Surf died, I was thinking, you know, there's no warning for that in case you had you know, some, what am I trying to say? I'm completely mind blanking. You know, what if you had some good spells on Surf and, you know, they're all just gone? I don't really harp on that too much because you get Sarah here and she inherits all of Surf's spells and just picks up where he left off. There is a little bit of a gap, however. You know, there's one dungeon worth of mantras that you couldn't get for Sarah/Surf. But that's okay, really. It's not too bad. However, Roland and Angela, you know, they're dead. They're both dead. They're not coming back at all. So that really sucks if you were, you know, like on my first playthrough I had Angela with all the buffs, all the healing, everything. Cielo had a bit of that too, but it was mostly on, Revival Gem. It was mostly on them, on Angela, sorry, and it's just, you know, like, there's no warning as to who is going to kick the bucket, and you know, you can't really plan your party around that until after it's already happened, which is a shame. It's a big shame. And so, you know, it's very annoying because at this point of the game, you know, say you've been, because some players, the way that they work is that they only use 3 party members throughout the entire game. They completely ignore their reserve 2, which is not how I like to play. I like to use everyone. But some people like to play like that, and, you know, more power to them. You know, do play how you want. You know, some people who play like that, it's just now, so I'm getting the seal on this immediately, thank you. Now, you know, if it's a first time playthrough and they didn't, because that didn't happen in DDS1, you know, no one died, no one just left the party and never came back. I'm not answering that phone. But here, it's just, also, we can get this. Megadon Mind Charge. But not now. No, not now. We're not getting that now. Let's get you on this. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, but, no, and it's just, it's a real shame because there is no way to tell for first time players, and you know, if you just use 3 party members at once, it's really, really unfortunate because you just have to, you know, adapt and say the other 2 characters, or the characters who weren't being used super low level, you just have to deal with it and grind them up, and there's no, you know, they don't get automatically grinded up or anything, they just have to, you just have to do it yourself, which is really, really unfortunate. And you know, and what I was saying about the story taking precedence over the gameplay is that, you know, because these characters have to die, you know, you are severely more underpowered, because you just don't have as many party members. And the game doesn't really design itself around that. You have to design your party members around that, you know, when you play the game. So anyway, we're back at the laboratory dome. Nobody bears a grudge against you, Sarah. You can stop God. You can give us light. It's hard not to worry about heat and surf. Right now we need to worry about stopping that thing. Heat and surf are dead, Cielo. You know. Unfortunately, here comes my least favorite dungeon in this game. I don't want to say it's worse than Tokyo Destinyland from the first game, although that, I don't know, that was a pretty bad dungeon, but this one's also pretty bad. You know, so it's hard to decide. Inside, it's like nothing you've ever seen. They're gone. The voice took them away. Can't you hear the voice? See? It's crying. Yeah, throughout this dungeon we will hear a loud roaring. You know, it's a voice that took everyone away or something, which is not entirely true. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. But yeah, we have to go back through the EGG facility. And even better, the lights are out. Not for the entire dungeon, just for the few sections. This is the part of the dungeon that I was dreading, absolutely dreading. I'm going back because I don't know. Because okay, so this mechanic is from Nocturne, right? It's where it originally initiated. Well, no, I think it's in SMT 1 and 2 at some point or another. But in Nocturne's where it's most memorable, where there are just dark sections, and to combat that. You just buy light balls, which can light your way, and they're not too expensive, or you can have a demon with light armor. Oh my god, they're in this game as well. Okay. Good, I didn't know if they're in this game or not. Thank god they are, seriously. It's by 15. Okay, rank 5, what have we got? Jackpot I think is new, Rival Gem I think is new. The Stoma Spray I think is new. Do we need more of any of these? Nah, we'll be fine. Okay. But yeah, I think it's just my first playthrough really exemplified how much I didn't like this part of the game, because you've lost 3 party members at this point permanently. 4 if you want to count Heat, because I was really looking forward to getting Heat back in the party, because he was my favourite character from the first game. Not gameplay wise, but just character wise, he was my favourite. Anyway, this lights up the area. Not very well, but it does a little decently. We got Percy and Vitala here. But in my first playthrough, I was just thinking this, I did not enjoy the power plant that much in the first playthrough because I was constantly going back and forth. The original visit to the EGG facility just went on too long. I thought all sorts of things that I wasn't enjoying were happening. I didn't enjoy it. I hated this dungeon. I really didn't like this dungeon. What else? Well, yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of the first visit to the Karma Society Tower. Just because of a lot of things that sort of catch you off guard a bit. Is it worth restoring? No. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, and then because there was 3 party members down, and while I technically had Surf back, and Sarah was useful, and Sarah is useful, Gale and Cielo, I had no buffs anymore. I only had debuffs in the form of Cielo. But Gale was just a magic attacker, in the first game, and same with Sarah. It was very unfortunate because I had no clue of what was going to happen. I am so scared of Sarah throwing away a buttload of money. So scared. Password. No. Sarah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Marziona. Panacea. And pass Marziona, okay. But yeah, my first playthrough, it started to make it feel like DDS2 wasn't that great of a game, I was still enjoying the base combat, because the press turn system's fantastic. But I just felt very underwhelmed with the dungeons, and the constantly taking away party members without warning. Because Argela was one of my most useful party members. She was exactly how she was in the first game, essentially. In the Let's Play the first game. And, that was taken away. I was like, that sucks. I don't know if we have to explore any of these areas. Also, this dungeon theme, it's okay. It's not Meguro's best work. But I don't know. Maybe because I actually I didn't mind the EGG facility too much on this playthrough, the first visit anyway. I actually enjoyed the Karma Society Tower on this playthrough. Oh yeah, so, okay, the light ball runs out whenever the solar noise goes back. It makes a full cycle. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've enjoyed a lot more things about this game now that I know, you know, because I knew that, you know, from the very beginning that... Where are the light balls? Seriously. There we go, God. I knew that Surf was going to die, that Roland was going to die, that Argela was going to die. I knew about all of that. And so I planned my party around that. And so I feel much more confident in that I can, and I know I can deal with the rest of the game just fine, really. Because I've set myself up to, you know, circumvent and, you know, adapt to these changes of the party members leaving. Which is a key point as to why I think an unknown presence can be felt beyond the hall. Continue onward, sure. It's a key point as to why I think DDS2 is much better on the second playthrough than DDS1. And why I always see that people prefer DDS1 over DDS2. Just because, you know, and some of these dungeons are not very enjoyable. And the constant, you know, party members leaving, and I you know, I like the fact that they die. And, you know, well, I mean, I don't like that they die, but I like that, you know, their deaths are meaningful. Although sometimes it can, like Argela's death, kind of felt a little unnecessary, you know, because she just decided, oh well, I'll go sacrifice myself and help Roland. You know, if it had shown, if Argela was able to see Roland struggling against Meganata and then decided to go and help him out, I would have believed it a lot more. But yeah, now we head into the heart of the new EGG facility.
God's data must be leaking. The data comprising this entire area has already been corrupted. The EGG might be damaged.
That would make this God's will. What is God exactly?
I can't really say. He is a being of vast greatness. Talking with God is different than talking to people. As he enfolds me, I can feel his will.
Just... Alright, I'll talk about what I'm thinking after this cutscene ends.
I don't know if he even has a distinct mind like us.
Seriously? How are you gonna change his mind if he don't have one?
I felt warmth in him. I think that the way people have lived and God destroying our world are related somehow. We ignored something very important, so...
He just gave up?
You see that as an opening for negotiation.
Yeah, so this game has a few themes of...
What happened to I do not comprehend, eh, brother?
This game has a few themes of Gnosticism in it.
Some things
especially,
must be felt, not comprehended.
And a bit of Buddhism in it.
Our comrades' deaths must not be in vain.
But, you know, the first game... So there's, let's say it's about 25% Buddhism and 75% Gnosticism themes in this game. Not pure Gnosticism. Oh, we got Legion Throne here. You know, by Gnosticism I mean, you know, the idea that God is evil. You know, he hates his own creations. We fight God. That idea is, you know, pretty prevalent in this game. Not the stuff with Sophia and the Demiurge and all that. That's more so for, you know, SMT9 or something, or Xenogears. But there's, you know, there's still a theme of it here, and in DDS1, that's still slightly present. I'd say it's about 25% present and 75% Buddhism based. Also, we got these portals here. We walk into them and we get transported somewhere. You know what this means? It's a teleport maze. Because Atlas just can't make a game without a teleport maze, aside from DDS 1, I guess. Some might blame me for the end of the world and hate you for it. But I shouldn't hate them, right? As long as you understand, it is fine. I'll remain on your side, even if the whole world turns against you. It's pointless to hate these people. I can help you to carry the burden caused by the hatred of others. That should make it easier on you. Yeah, the first game was more about, well, there was a bit of Gnosticism in that, like, you know, we got to take down Angel, this goddess, when in this game she's anything but. Can't open those doors anymore. But the first game was mostly based on Buddhism, you know, with all the areas having their names after, you know, the 7 chakras. But like, except I guess, well, Vishuddha wasn't in the game at all. It wasn't an area that's playable. It was mentioned in the cutscene. That's it. But yeah, there's more Buddhism themes. But yeah, anyway, we got teleported back here. But you know, as I was thinking of during the cutscene, I really hate that. You know, I really hate the fact that Sarah is supposed to be 7 years old mentally, because she keeps talking about these concepts which really shouldn't come out of a 7-year-old's mouth. You know, stuff that 7-year-old emotionally and mentally isn't likely to be able to comprehend, as Gail would say. It's just really off-putting. You know, if they said she was, I don't know, just a little old, like 14 or something, I believe it a lot more. But you know, I don't believe I just find it harder to believe that she's 7 mentally. And here we go. We have a berserk battle with Sarah. So Sarah essentially looks exactly like Surf. You know, being in a Varna form or Varnani. And here's her attack. If she, nope, she missed. Excellent. That's exactly what I want to see, Sarah. It's yellow. Come on. Alright. Silent Howl. Oh, that hurts. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine if that hits. Alright, come on, Sarah, please. No, Sarah. Alright, then just... Please go. Thank you. Go. I need to show off Sarah's animation, because it's really cool looking. No, Sarah! Alright, we're going to use a medical kit here, because I am not leaving this battle. I'm not finishing this battle until Sarah can kill this enemy. With her animation. Okay, that was a lot of MP. Go, Sarah. Yes, there we go. Thank you. And she doesn't roar or anything, she just sort of essentially gives a middle finger, and that's it. But yeah, I think Sarah looks really cool in berserk form. It's really neat. Okay. But yeah, the reason I don't really like this dungeon is because it's a teleport maze, you know. Atlas staple. Let's just make infuriating teleport mazes. Although I suppose, you know, DDS1 didn't really have one, thank God. And that's probably why I preferred the dungeons to DDS1.